Well, hello once again, everybody. It's Jingles Roscoe here with another speed drawing. Today, I decided to draw Sara Pezzini from the Witchblade series because it was Piman's birthday just recently. And in fact, Piman will be joining me on this commentary.
Let me just take a seat right here. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's good to see you.
It's good being here. You drew my favorite character.
Yeah, I did. I asked you what character did you want me to draw for you, and you were like, well, either Sara Pezzini or Nikuko from Galko-Chan, and I have the text here, and I said, well, one of those will be really quick and really easy to do, and the other one would be challenging and time consuming. And then I said, but I kind of really want to push myself. I think it'd be really fun.
And I told you just to do it, brah.
And guess what, brah? I did it.
Yeah, you did.
And you know what? I'm pretty happy with myself.
And you did stretch yourself quite a bit here.
I did. Usually, just like a single character drawing will take me like 2.5, 3 hours. Like, that's the usual amount of time that it would take me to do something like this. Like Suyu only took me like about 2 hours 45 to just come from beginning to end for her. But Sara here,
yeah, this was like almost 4 hours, wasn't it?
It was like 4.5 hours.
It was more than 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I thought this would be really interesting and fun to do because I've been drawing in a manga-like style since high school, which is oh lord,
it's not good for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna think about how long it's been since high school.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
It hurts already.
It hurts the brain.
It's so
and the soul.
It's been a while, and I wanted to try drawing Sara because she's a very iconic, like, American comics style character, specifically a very 90s stylized, like, comics character.
Oh yeah, she's really a symptom of the 90s bad girl revolution.
And bad boy revolution. I feel like Rob Liefeld could have had his way with her if, cooler minds hadn't kept a hold of her, I guess.
I don't think Liefeld ever... He might have done like a cover or something at some point, but I don't think that he ever actually did artwork.
This was Image, correct?
Started with Top Cow, which was like an Image sort of subsidiary. But so yeah, it was Image.
Okay, so it could have happened, but
it could have happened.
To my knowledge, it didn't.
I don't think it has either.
But if I find out otherwise, I'll just edit it down in the corner over here, and I'll call myself a big dumb.
I don't think it matters. I mean, nobody has read everything, so it's
true.
Like, just don't worry about it. I mean, and one of the reference images you're using, the J. Scott Campbell stuff, I don't think he ever actually did art in the comic. He just did cover stuff for it.
Right. And boy, I really like his style a lot.
I like J. Scott Campbell too, and I'm not going to try to front you and say it's for anything other than his incredibly pretty women.
That's fair. But I definitely used, I think, his face as most of the reference.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you can't see that.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I really liked the chance to push myself for this particular character, which she's a very interesting and very iconic character. You could see. Even though this footage is very sped up, anytime I get to her Witchblade arm there, it takes up most of the actual drawing part. Because everything else, like her body, her face, her legs, everything else is quick. But that arm, whoo!
Well, there's like 3 times as many lines in that arm as there is on the entirety of the rest of the drawing.
And yes, I decided to go with a modest look for her and gave her pretty much her cop look with just the Witchblade on there instead of like, Witchblade bikini mode as she's often drawn in.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I would have liked to see you try that, but I understand. I understand why you didn't.
Yeah, maybe as a secret pervy drawing, maybe I might just do that someday. But none of y'all will ever see it.
Have you ever seen some of the Witchblade cosplay people do sometimes?
I have seen some of the Witchblade. I actually, while I was looking up a lot of the reference for this, I noticed a lot of people doing Witchblade cosplay. I was just all like, interesting. The convention that we normally go to probably wouldn't allow for what they were doing.
No, not at all.
Oh man. But tell me about Witchblade, because in all honesty, I never really got into it, and so I know next to nothing except for I saw a commercial for the TV show one time.
You mean the one in like 2001 and 2?
Yeah.
Where the Witchblade was just like a metal armor gauntlet that had like a hidden blade Assassin's Creed thing going on?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was a show.
That was definitely a show.
I saw some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I really didn't like it at all. Mm-hmm. But apparently it was fairly popular.
Yeah, it seemed popular.
It still got canceled though.
Yeah, well, of course.
But yeah, the comic started in 95, and the official end to the Sara Pezzini arc was like 2015.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's been around for a long time.
Long time.
And there's a new series that's going to be coming out here, I think in the next few months, with a new protagonist.
Very interesting.
I haven't read up a ton on it yet, but I'm totally going to give it a shot.
Awesome. It's probably a better deal than what we're getting from, the big other comics companies going on right now.
What, you're not happy with everything that Marvel and DC are doing at all times?
Oh, no, you're right. I'm completely content with all of that.
Yeah, well, anyway, so, Witchblade follows Sara, and she's a cop in New York City. And she comes across this weird living gauntlet that bonds itself to her. And it's like, yo, I'm the Witchblade. Now you have to fight evil. And so, yeah, she faces all kinds of horrible supernatural monstrosities. And she ends up fighting the darkness with Mr. Estacado.
Right.
And
the star of that actually pretty decent video game. And its sequel. Yeah,
the darkness games were kind of fun. I liked them. And there's all kinds of villains that she faces, a lot of small-time villains, and then there's, I can't remember what his name is. He's some sort of, like, corporate dude. Kenneth Irons, yeah, that's what his name is, Kenneth Irons. And he likes to collect rare things, and he's like, I want the Witchblade, give me the Witchblade. It's like, no, you can't have the Witchblade.
Yo, give me the Witchblade, though.
Give me that Witchblade. And, there's big fights between, like, the Angelus, which are, like, these angels, right. I guess, and of course the forces of evil, the darkness and stuff, and the Witchblade sort of sits in between that. So there's a few storylines where she actually has to fight the angels because they're like, no, humans are dumb, we don't like humans, they just suck. If we kill them all, then maybe the darkness won't win. And she's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
We're gonna kill all the humans before the darkness can, therefore we win.
Rendering us the winners.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I mean, the series ran for 20 years, so obviously there's a lot of storylines. And of course, it wasn't a continuous run. A lot of very long hiatuses in there too.
Right.
And then there's a couple of spin-offs, like Switch. I don't know if it's still going, but it launched a couple of years ago, and it's like the Witchblade in the interim, maybe like before it got to Sara. And so it goes through all of the different like Witchblade wielders over the years, starting from like cavemen times.
Oh, nice.
Like all the way up to now. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty radical. I decided to go with blue shading this time because since she's got her whole hair is almost reddish, and that's just the way I ended up coloring it. It should have been more of a darker brown, but I'd already gotten this far. I wasn't going to go back again. But I thought the blue stood out a little bit better on all of the elements and stuff, so I decided to go with that instead of my usual magenta, as I tend to do, which I think it ended up looking all right. It looks weird now, but when I put it on the multiply layer and lower the opacity, I think it ends up looking a lot better.
Sarah goes through a lot of shirts.
I imagine she must. You would think that she would just have like a brand of shirts, or she gets just really cheap shirts because she knows that they're just going to explode at some point. It's just like, oh, geez, there goes another shirt.
Just Senran Kagura burst off the body.
That doesn't seem fair because Jackie Estacado, he's like, the darkness is like around him and doesn't burst forth from his clothing.
Well, she can access some of the Witchblade powers without like activating the armor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not fair. And it's obviously because we got to get some cheesecake shots in here.
Absolutely.
So when we have her go Witchblade mode, we got to have all her clothes burst off and have the metal armor bone stuff. Mm-hmm. Sort of cover all of the not for kids bits.
Yeah, of course. Just the metal hands that cover up the goodies and the whatnots.
Yeah, thankfully they only did that sometimes, and it was some of the more, I guess, garish artists who would do that. Like, obviously, J. Scott Campbell was fond of that look.
Right. Were you a fan of the Witchblade anime?
No, I actually didn't like it at all. I really didn't like it at all.
That's funny. I saw like some reference images for that. I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
I remember I was super stoked when it was like announced and before it came out. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see that. That was because I was like deep in my weeb phase at that point.
Right.
And then it came out and I watched it. I was like, this is lame. I don't like this at all.
That's funny. But there's the finished image of her just floating around. But yeah, this was a ton of fun to draw. I just sat down and I just did it, and it took all day, but you know what? It was fun, and I'm happy with the way that it turned out.
I like it too. I'm a big fan. I would get a print of this.
Radical.
I would totally get a print, like a nice big one.
A big one, like a A1 size.
What
print?
What does that even mean?
It's paper size. I don't. I think the smaller number is bigger. I don't remember. Thank you for joining me in this speed drawing, and thanks for the suggestion for this character. I'm hoping to have another one here within a week or so, and so I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Thank you, Piman.
No problemo.
And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.